on YouTube. This is Stephen A. Smith. I'm here to give you guys a week one recap, and then we're going to talk about the recruiting just in this week. The next week, we will kind of catch up a little bit on the stats, and as we get towards the national championship, which is 250 as of right now, where the loser takes 50, winner takes 200. Oregon lost a big one against Boston College. 2014, Michigan was able to defeat Washington 52-0. Alabama beats Syracuse 21-7. Absolutely great game right there. Oklahoma State and Tulsa. Oklahoma State was able to come out victorious. UCF and Navy 42-0. User versus user, we had a look at the Ohio State and Iowa State. Ohio State won this game. All right, our user versus user, we had Texas A&M, Penn State. Penn State was able to defeat Texas A&M. Let's take a look at the box score. Let's see what happened right here. As we look at the player stats right now, we see that Penn State quarterback Lloyd Gallo was able to pretty much have his way. 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. They were able to have some success in the ground game, 16.97 yards a carry. That pretty much tells me that the defensive front for Texas A&M couldn't get anything going, which is surprising because they supposed to have all the 5 stars and all the big timers, but it's just the name of the game, man, and you never know, man. Just because a guy has 5 stars doesn't mean he's a great football player. I mean, when you get on the football field, you expect him to show up. 7 catches, 123 yards by Cameron Berryman. He's a senior. He absolutely had a great game, as well as Paul Ritz. Let's look at Texas A&M interception. A lot of hype on this kid. He came back from last season. He was actually could have potentially declared for the draft, but he decided to come back, put his team on his back, and I'm interested to see if he's going to be able to take these guys to the promised land. Wide receiver Dre Church, senior, had a very good game. But other than that, it really wasn't too many playmakers that was able to separate themselves. I mean, you could say Bruce Rubin, freshman wide receiver, 6'2", was able to do so. But overall, Penn State dominated this game, which is no surprise because Penn State is one of those teams that's always at the end in regards to for the chip. Florida State and Wake Forest. Florida State was able to defeat Wake Forest 28-14. Nebraska won big 63-24 against TCU. USC was able to win against Georgia Tech 28-19. LSU was able to defeat Michigan State 42-17. Clemson won their game 48-14. I'm really only going to stop on the losses. So we look in that Oklahoma versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame was able to defeat Oklahoma, which is no surprise as well, as he's always one of the ones that finish at the end. Oklahoma quarterback Brian Easy had a fairly okay game. I seen his name somewhere. I think he's leading right now in passing, if I'm not mistaken. It's so easy out there. I'm going to have to look at that later. But quarterback for Notre Dame had a very good game besides the 2 interceptions. I want to guess, okay, no surprise. I was going to say that he probably got it down in the run game. So, in regards to that, so that's pretty good. Let's see where we at right now. Okay, we're only 3 minutes in. That's perfect. All right, so we Virginia Tech and Auburn. Auburn was able to win 31-24. Miami and UCLA. Wow, Miami defeated UCLA 35-17, scoring 28 points only in the third quarter. The first 3 quarters they were scoreless. Third quarter they was able to come out with 28 points, and that did it in regards to that. Looking at the player stats, Miami had quarterback to throw 2 interceptions. Wow, so you got a struggling quarterback right now, but they were able to get the job done in regards to this football game. UCLA is a team that always scoring. We have a little rivalry going on with this football team. It is what it is, but the kid threw 330 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's absolutely a lot of interceptions to throw in a football game, in my opinion. Fast forward, we had Texas Tech defeat Cincinnati 37-6, 55-14. Texas dominated. Western Kentucky lost to Colorado 49-27. Wisconsin and Georgia. This was a very good one where Wisconsin won against Georgia. Wisconsin is a owner, GM, head coach, however you call it. I mean, you can say either or now with guys getting paid in regards to if they're a GM or owner. But anyway, the kid for Wisconsin had an amazing day, and that is Madison McAdams. He threw for 252 yards. This Wisconsin football team is very, very special. Lots of 5 stars, always finishing top 5. As you guys can see right here, this is a freshman from Memphis, Tennessee. 14 carries, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's no surprise any bit in regards to the success coming from this football team. I mean, he's loaded. He's definitely loaded. So as you guys can see, everybody's playing their games in this league, which makes it fun. You know, that's why I'm going through the list and I'm noticing it. So I think we stopped there. Okay, one more game is Tulane and Tennessee. So this was another user versus user. I really predict Tulane to win it all this season. That's my prediction. Me as an analyst, I have to be a realist. I'm in the league, but at the same time, I'm telling you guys in all honesty, I feel like Tulane is going to win it all. That's just what it is. Frederick Wells no, he's the freshman incoming recruit that came in this season. Very, very good quarterback. He had to fill in behind a very good quarterback, and he was able to throw 316 yards, 4 touchdowns. The kid they played exceptionally well. Tony Manziel, 18 carries, 138 yards, sophomore. Receiving, they was able to get some things going. You see them spreading the ball all around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different guys on the offensive side of the ball, which is pretty interesting. And their defense was able to capitalize on 4 interceptions. So let's take a look at the recruiting and we get up out of here. Try to break this thing down into sections every week, so I don't overwork myself and we keep this thing going smoothly with videos. That's the plan, because I am an analyst in real life, so try to put time into it, to this league. So we have top 5 right now: Georgia, LSU, Miami, Texas, and Alabama as your top 5 right now in the recruiting market. Probably because Georgia has 1 5-star, and then you have 3 4-stars from LSU, and then you can pretty much go into any order with Miami, Texas, Alabama, and UCLA, as they all have 2 4-stars as well as total recruits. Michigan and Texas dropped in regards to being one of the top teams in regards to recruiting. I expect Wisconsin to be up there pretty at the end of the season, potentially. Colorado dropped down to 74, I want to say, because we haven't signed anybody yet. But we are definitely in works with some big names, which we're going to go to in a second. Big names right now we have is Maurice Reeves. He's 6'3", 202, 5-star quarterback. Top 8 right now, and Colorado is one of those teams in regards to trying to get this kid. Also with running backs, right now we have Mateo Garcia as well as Luis Torres. Right now, Garcia is a 5-star, and he's narrowed down his potential landing spots to top 5, and we are one of those top 5 teams. Texas A&M, and I want to say Kansas State, a few other teams. He decided to push them to the side. Emmanuel Sasua is also a team also a player where we are targeting. 5-star wide receiver. He's a big name. We're only going off of the big guys, man. 5-star kids. I want to say he has narrowed down his team to Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Texas, Colorado, and Oklahoma State. He has locked out Ohio State, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Kansas State. And then I brought up Garcia, and yes, that is Houston, Texas A&M, Oklahoma State, and Alabama. Now he has narrowed it down to Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Texas, LSU, and Colorado. Feels good, man, for these guys to be considering coming to Colorado, considering that we haven't made the playoffs since the first season, and that was under Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. But I mean, hey, it's still fun, and I love the fact that these guys are at least considering coming to play for our program, which is pretty cool. That's pretty much it, guys. We're going to look at the Heisman race, and then we get up out of here. Heisman race right now haven't changed. There's no changes in regards to the Heisman race, but I'm going to show you guys that. We'll get up out of here. Right now, we got, as you guys can see, we have Frederick Urban, George Matlock, Antoine Dennis, Manny Smoker, and Jason Honoral right now in the run for the Heisman. Top 25 right now. Tulane is one of those teams. I'm telling y'all, Tulane is a team you must watch, man. Miami, Texas, Oklahoma State, Alabama, Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan. This is going to pretty much change. As you guys can see, Oklahoma State has one loss. Alabama has one loss. Texas A&M has a loss. Oklahoma has a loss. Colorado has moved into the top 25 this week, being 1-0, but we really didn't play anybody. We played Western Kentucky, but we are to dominate every single time we get on the football field, and that's just what it is. You have LSU 2-0, Kansas State 1-0, Nebraska, UMass, Texas Tech, USC, Georgia lost one, as well as UCF being in the top 25. So that's pretty much it. This week we have Oklahoma State and Tulane, which is one you guys do not want to miss. We will see if that's an upset alert. We have Texas versus Penn State, which is a very big one. As you guys saw, Penn State took down Texas A&M. Alabama versus Clemson, very big game, in Nebraska and Notre Dame. This is absolutely one of the best leagues that I've ever been in regards to football. It's so realistic, it's so fun, and it's enjoyable, which is why I do my best to keep you guys up to date with the reporting as well as the incentives, man. Drop in the comments and let me know how you guys feel. Hit the like button, and I will keep you guys updated for week 3.